What's going on, guys? Easy Red High here with finally a Dragon Ball deck profile for you. Today it is the announcer deck I've been talking about for a little bit. Decided to make it after getting 3.5 World Martial Arts Tournament boxes for pretty cheap, and the announcer was the obvious choice as a leader to make from it. So here we are, and we're going to start it right off with the announcer leader. He makes it so you can't have any non-World Martial Art Tournament battle cards in your deck, which doesn't really hurt too much because they all work together and form a point, bringing out each other and etc. etc. And he also makes it so you can use any color World Martial Art Tournament and they can pay for whatever. So you can use green energy to pay for a red one, yellow to pay for a blue. It just doesn't matter as long as there are world tournaments, which they have to be because he is your leader. And his auto, those are both the permanent abilities, and his auto is once per turn. You can, whenever you play a world tournament card, draw a card, which is actually really nice. We have a bunch of counters in this deck to put cards into play during your opponent's turn, so hopefully you should be drawing a card on you and your opponent's turn every turn. Hopefully. And once he awakens, you flip up the 2 of your energy to active. And his awakened side, which really isn't the point of this deck, as nice. You want to really keep drawing those cards. And the announcer, referee, veteran, he loses the ability when you play World Martial Arts Tournament to draw a card. He just attacks, draw a card, and his activate main is pretty much the same ability as the World Tournament Arena Field card, which is in this deck, which it gives 2 World Martial Arts Tournament cards, 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, and then ignore that skill for the rest of the game. It's a little upsetting, but this is not the point. All that is. Alright, so we're going to get right into the deck, move him to the side. And starting off, we have 3 World Martial Arts World Tournament Arenas, wow. And this is pretty much the ability that I just said. You play it for, there's a little glare, sorry. You play for 0, and you just rest it. And it gives 2 of your World Martial Arts Tournament cards, 5,000 for the duration of the turn. I actually really like this card. I usually try to mulligan until I get 1 in my opening hand, and then you know play it for free turn 1, and then excuse me, just rest it, boost some things up throughout the game. It's actually pretty helpful, and some people tend to forget that it's there. And the nice thing about it is once you get your first one, the other 2 can go clearly to energy if you don't need them, or you could even play 1, rest 1. Play another one, gets rid of the one that you have, and then rest that one. So you can potentially boost up to, I mean, if you really want to boost up to 15,000 for 2 battle cards. But you know, it's a little lucky on that one. So we got 3 World Tournament Arenas, and then we got 4 announcer play by play. This is one of the counter attack cards I was talking about. For 1 energy, you can, if your leader card is World Tournament, negate the attack and play this card. So you play this card, negate an attack, and then it comes into play on your opponent's turn. The announcer's auto would activate, and that gives you a chance to draw a card on your opponent's turn, which is nice. Also, he has some pretty decent utility. If you do play him on your turn and there are 2 or more other World Martial Arts Tournament cards, which half the cards in this deck bring out other cards that you pretty much should always have at least 2 in play, then you can just draw 2 cards. So either you draw 1 on your opponent's turn or you draw 2 on your turn, depending how you want to play it. But it's nice to have some negates in there as well. And then we have 4 more announcers. Announcer Ever Curious. And he's the searcher of the deck. You play him for 1, and it's top 7 cards, World Tournament battle card, which is every battle card in the deck, so he's pretty good at getting you what you need. You know, you have 1 piece of something, and then yeah, so he's the obvious choice. And then we have 4 Videls, which was a little iffy about on first. She's another counterattack card. Pay 1, play her, and the announcer's ability, draw a card on your opponent's turn, which is nice. So you have 8 negates in this deck in total. Her permanent ability has to do with Heroic Duo Sun Gohan, her other half from this set, which I don't have in the deck. She's pretty much just used to draw cards and negate attacks, which isn't bad. And then, you know, worst comes to worst, I guess you could use her for energy, but for negates, she's pretty decent. So you can't have non-World Tournament battle cards, but you can have non-World Tournament extra cards. And right now I have, excuse me, 2 Senzu Beans in here, and I'm thinking about upping it to 3. If you saw my last Galactic Battle box opening, you'll see that I only pulled 2 Senzu Beans, so once I get a couple more, maybe I will go up to 4. but I think 3 is probably the best way to do it. It's nice to be able to play Senzu Bean, untap one of your energy, and play one of the negates, you know, boost something up to protect it or whatever, or it just gets you into your other negate plays, so you can keep drawing your cards, which is cool in this deck. Senzu Bean's pretty helpful, so I definitely got to get at least one more, maybe 2, but we'll see how it goes. And then I have 3 Secret Treaty Hercules, which I've seen a lot of deck profiles online and people around talking about them, and the announcer deck is pretty standard, but this is one card that I decided to include in here, mostly because I love this artwork of Hercule. It's too good to be true. So he's a 1-drop, 5,000 power, permanent. You can combo with this card from rest mode, and his activate main is if you rest him and another World Tournament battle card, which they all are World Tournament, draw card. And the reason I thought he'd be alright in here, granted he's a 1-drop, and we already have both the World announcers and Videl as a 1-drop, is saying, you know, you combo with, or you negate with one of the announcers, right? And then you negate, play it into play, draw your card in your opponent's turn, and now it's back to your turn. And you're like, oh, what do I really do with this? You know, I guess I could combo with it, which is nice, you know, free 5,000 power. But I was thinking maybe if you need more cards in hand, you know, you could play Hercule and rest one of the negate cards just to kind of draw a little bit more. But this deck does draw pretty plenty. I just gotta stop talking. This deck does draw a decent amount as it is, but I'm iffy on Hercule. I might end up taking these out. I do really love that artwork, though. I don't have the opposite side 18 in here, so there's no combo one really going on with her. But just to draw a little bit extra, so we'll see. We'll see about that. And then we have, get into some of our little joint cards. We have one of my favorite cards from this set besides Hercule, which is Awkward Situation Trunks. Awkward Situation Trunks is really dope. We got 4 of them in this deck. He works in tandem with Awkward Situation, Don't Kill Me Here, Odo Kasuki, I believe. So we got 4 of those for these. I'm constantly playing these. This is usually almost always my turn 2 or 3 play. Sorry, I'm going to get these on camera for you. You play a Trunks, and if Trunks is in play, his Odo Kasuki's permanent is that if there is an Awkward Situation Trunks in play and none of him in play, you can play one for free, which is nice. So you get a free 15,000 power 4-drop. And that goes back to Trunks' ability that you can put one of these Odo Kasukis at the bottom of your deck and then KO, well, once per turn, you can KO one of your opponent's battle cards, which is really nice. So you get some pretty free removal, basically. You know, play Trunks for 2, play Odo Kasuki for free, swing with him, then use Trunks to pop something. He goes at the bottom of your deck, and say you have another one of these. His ability isn't a once per turn, so you almost want to do that. So if you have another, you can just play it, because you can only have... his ability only works if you have none of him in play. So as soon as you get rid of the other one, you can play him again. So you go from a 1,500... You go from a 1,500 attacker to having 2 1,500 attackers. Having attacked, popped something, and then potentially played another one and attacked again. That's 3 attacks in one turn. That's pretty, with a pop as well. That's pretty good. Trunks and Odo Kasuki do their awkward thing in this deck. So that's the next 8 is 4 and 4. And then the other joint cards I have in this deck are 4 Test of Strength Son Goku and 4 Test of Strength Oob. They are very similar to Trunks and Odo Kasuki in that you play Goku. As I was saying, Trunks is usually my 2 to 3 drop, my turn 2 to 3 play, and Goku is usually my 3 to 4 play. Goku has double strike, which is really nice. When you play Goku, he allows you to play Oob for free, so it's a 3-drop, 1,500 power. You play Goku, which lets you play an Oob from your hand, and then Goku's ability would activate, which gives Goku and Oob 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, which is cool. And playing Oob with Goku in the battle area lets you take 2 of your opponent's battle cards with 20,000 power or less and put them at the bottom of your decks. So basically turn 2 or 3, I'm using Trunks to pop something, get a couple attacks in, and then turn 3 to 4, I'm getting Goku out with Oob to put cards at two battle cards at the bottom of their deck, and then I have a 20,000 power double strike and a 20,000 power critical just ready to go in as well, which is super nice. I really love the combo in, bringing each other out nature of this deck, which is pretty cool. So those are the next 8. This is probably the utility of putting 2 cards at the bottom of the deck is probably, this is my favorite joint cards in this deck. They're just so useful, and the critical and double strike is really nice. And then we got one. We're going to put these together, actually. So this is 3 Supreme Showdown Vegetas and 3 Supreme Showdown Gokus. I put these in this deck. They're kind of the finishers of the deck. I don't really use them that much. If I do, it's pretty much one time. I mean, obviously, like I said, they were finishers, but I figured when I was putting this deck together, I kind of planned to use them a little bit more, but I found that I used them less than I thought I would. But I still think 3 is a good number. You want to see them at least 1. And worst comes to worst, nice thing about this game, you just throw them for energy or combo power. So Vegeta and Goku, they're both 5 drops with 2,500 power. They both have triple strike. And I believe, what is Vegeta's? It's when you, oh, right. And if each other is in play, if Vegeta's in play, Goku gets plus 10,000 power. And if Goku's in play, Vegeta gets plus 10,000 power, which is super nice as well. And Vegeta lets you, when you play this card, if your leader card is World Tournament, you may choose one of your battle cards other than this card and place it in your drop area. If you do so, your opponent cannot activate Blocker for the duration of the turn, which Blocker is cool and all, but we don't really care about Blocker. If you use Vegeta's ability to pop something else that you have, and we saw with the last 4 different types of cards that everything is bringing each other out, especially with all the 1-drops we have, there's always something to pop, hopefully, and then if you pop something with Vegeta's ability, it lets you play Goku for free, as long as there isn't a Goku in play already, which is super nice. So basically you play Vegeta, pop something, Goku gets put into play, and now they're both 35,000 power triple strikes. Add that with the World Tournament Arena, brings them up to 40, and then if you use the announcer to finish them off, that's a 4,500, 45,000 power triple attack cards, and it's kind of hard to deal with that late in the game, So they're really nice, plus this artwork. This artwork is beautiful. So we got 3 Supreme Showdown Vegetas, 3 Supreme Showdown Gokus. And then we're kind of just finishing the deck off. I have 3 Hidden Power East Supreme Kai, which, which they're martial arts tournament or world tournament, so you can keep him in this deck. He's only used for his combo ability, which gives something double strike. I'm thinking about taking him down to if I got that other Senzu Bean and saying I didn't want to take Hercule out, I'd probably bring him down to 2 to put in the 3rd Senzu Bean. He just kind of helps with some other cards. You get Trunks and Otokosuki out, or throw it on Oob to give him critical and double strike, so it's pretty... it can help. I don't use it that often, but I'm sure there'll be situations when I really do need to. And then we have our 4 super combos, which since colors don't really matter in this deck, I just have 1 of every color from the World Tournament set. So Vegeta, whatever. They're just super combos, that stuff. Unfortunately, since I have to only have World Tournament cards, I can't keep any of the newer ones in that just give you 10,000 and then let you draw. This one, you have to wait for your life to be 5 or less. And then I have 1 Son Goku and Oob Seeds to the Future. I put him in this deck just because I pulled them. And if for some reason I pull this card by turn 6, and yeah, you never know. You never know, basically. It's an ultimate card, so might as well put one in the deck. It's the deck it's meant for, so yeah. So that was pretty much the whole deck. Most of the whole real point of it is just to get, just to bring your pieces out. Turn 1 or 2, search with the Ever Curious announcer, find your pieces if you don't have any already. I've seen several ways to play this deck. You could play it a little bit more aggressively, turn 2, dropping Trunks and bringing out Otokosuki for 2 hits, possibly 3, and popping something turn 2. Or I've seen this deck played a little slower, where that's why I was saying you could do this in your turn 2 to 3. Sometimes when you play it slower, say you don't do this on your turn 2, maybe play another turn 1 or just wait, so you can negate something on your opponent's turn, get that extra draw power in, and kind of play a little bit more defensively, since all of your cards do usually have some form of removal, except for the Goku and Vegeta, but they're the end of the, they're finishers anyway. So you just kind of play it slow, draw on your opponent's turn with either negating attacks with either Videl or play-by-play pro announcer. So, and then on your turn, you just do it. You just do it. I've some couple changes that I've been thinking about are finding room for trading blows Son Goku. He's a 1-drop green World Tournament that when you play him, your opponent discards a card. He's just I feel like he's too lone in this deck to play him. It's nice, it's a 1-drop, but I have the Searching Announcer and the Hercule to draw me more cards. Getting your opponent to get rid of cards is always super nice, but I don't know. I haven't found a place for him personally in my deck just yet, but we'll see. Maybe I'll pull the Hercules out. When I put the Hercules out, I probably would put in Risky Ranfan. I've been thinking about Risque Ranfan. When you play her, rest one of your opponent's battle cards with 15,000 power or less, which I thought would be pretty useful, since with the Oob and Goku and Trunks and Otokosuki, they bring out another card, so you have a bunch of attack power and cards on the board. So I would assume to play her to kind of rest everything, so they can't combo, so they can't block her, so they can't this and that, just to make sure your attacks get through. But maybe I'll take some of the Hercules out for her. But once again, I'm pretty happy with the deck how it is. These are like 2 maybes from me, but I'm pretty happy with how it is. Yeah, so that was my deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's pretty much a red and blue World Tournament deck. If anybody has any questions, please leave them in the comments. Let me know how you like this. Did I explain enough? Should I go over more plays next time with the different deck profiles? Or if it was just a horrible video and you want me to stop and burn all my cards, who knows? Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.